Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you're new to the channel, my name is Andrew with Younger Nissan in Frederick, Maryland. For more information on our inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. And so today we are in the brand new 2023 Nissan Murano because there's actually a couple changes for the 2023 model year. And of course, this thing is still rated with incredible reliability according to Consumer Reports. Just check out Consumer Reports magazine, of course, for that. But ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so as you can imagine, there are several different trim levels for the 2023 Murano. First one being the S, starting at $33,660. Then there is the SV for $37,200, Midnight Edition for $38,790, SL for $41,160, and lastly the Platinum starting at $45,210. And by the way, that was all pricing for the front wheel drive configuration. If you wanted to add all-wheel drive, you can do that. Simply add $1,700 then to any of those prices. And by the way, we do have the Platinum trim level with us here today in case you were curious. But having said that, regardless of trim level that you go with, the power plant on the Murano is actually going to be the same. Powering the beast is a reliable 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6, putting out 260 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, 240 pound-feet of torque coming in at 4,400 RPM. Power sent to front wheels or all wheels through a CVT, 0 to 60 time coming in at approximately 8.2 seconds, with MPG numbers coming in at 20 in the city, 28 on the highway, taking regular unleaded fuel. And in case anybody was curious, this thing has been just filled up and we have a range of approximately 424 miles on a single tank as well. But so now that we got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find a straightaway. Let's put the Murano here to the test and let's see how quickly we can get this one here up to speed. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go, baby. No delay whatsoever. Gotta love non-turbocharged engines. That's fine. It's definitely going to be enough to merge onto the highway. It's not the quickest thing in the world, but this is a relatively good size SUV, and for what size this thing is, it's a pretty good acceleration, I'm not going to lie. So I personally wouldn't have any issues with that. But anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. So up front, you will find 12.6-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 12.1-inch solid rear discs. As far as that 6E0 stopping distance goes, it's going to commit at a very respectable 120 feet as we are pulling up to the light here, and that braking feel is plenty fine. Definitely on the firmer side of things. I really like the braking feel on this thing, and I really like a lot about this SUV. So we'll continue on here, touching on suspension and handling. Up front, you're going to get an independent strut type front suspension. In the back, independent multi-link rear suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars. As far as steering feel goes, that's what I want to touch on next. It is definitely on the heavier side of things. I absolutely love it. And there's not even any driving modes that would make it even heavier than like a normal driving mode. It's all just one thing, and the steering feel is wonderful. Typically with SUVs, you have very loosey-goosey steering feels. There's not a whole lot of emotion to them. But this one is relatively fun to drive just based off the steering feel alone because, like I said, it is on the heavier side of things. So big fan of that. As far as ride quality goes, it's been perfectly fine in my short little test drive here today. And Frederick has some pretty bad roads. I'm just gonna say that. It's not like Hagerstown where I typically drive, so ride quality is pretty darn good. I'll put it that way. As far as cabin noise goes, we are going 30, 40 miles per hour-ish right now, and there isn't a whole lot of anything whatsoever coming into the cabin, which is surprising because we have this wonderful panoramic moonroof right now, and typically when you got that, at least some wind noise is going to come in through that, and I've heard that before, and actually other Nissans I think I remember. So quite honestly, again, 100% on point with the cabin noise. And touching on visibility, I can see perfectly fine out the back. You're definitely not going to have any issues with your visibility here either. But that about rounds out the performance segment of this review, you guys. Let's still go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2023 Nissan Murano. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2023 Nissan Murano, finished in pearl white tri-coat, in case you were curious of our exterior color name. But speaking of colors, there's actually a couple new colors for the 2023 Murano, one of them being super black and the other one being deep ocean blue pearl, in case you wanted the latest color options for the Murano. Those are your two options. New Nissan front logos for 2023, of course, you guys can see that as well. Up front, you're going to find LED headlights with LED signature daytime running lights. Of course, automatic feature coming with that, meaning when it starts to get dark at night, the headlights are going to turn on automatically for you there. Automatic high beams as well, meaning if you have your high beams on at night in the sense of the vehicle coming in the opposite direction, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beams for you, and then when that vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically bump it back up to high beams. So again, coming standard for all trim levels across the board. That's pretty cool. LED fog lights down below, you guys can see those. Those come with the SV trim level and up, so if you wanted them, that's how you get them. And with that chrome V-Motion front grille that can be finished in black as well, depending upon the trim level that you go with. Obviously, for the Platinum, we are going to have the chrome, but you guys have seen this front end before. It looks pretty much like last year's, but it looks darn good still in my opinion. But that pretty much rounds out the front end here. So now go ahead and make our way to the side of the Murano. All right, and so now since we are around to the side of this one, looking all the way towards the top there, you're either going to get black or silver roof rails, depending upon the trim level that you go with, of course. Again, black or chrome window surrounds, again, dependent upon the trim level. Towards the back there on the C-pillar, you guys can see we got that floating roof line, typical Murano fashion, of course. Rear privacy glass is going to come standard on all trim levels across the board then. Taking a look at the side mirrors, they are body colored, power adjustable side mirrors, and they will be heated for the SV trim level and up. And again, LED integrated turn signals for the SV trim level and up. So that's really the sweet spot I think you're going to find when it comes to the trim levels at least. Chrome or black accenting on the side skirts then. We have the chrome. You guys can see that down towards the bottom there. We got some chrome door handles as well, actually. Taking a look at the wheel setup, we got an optional wheel setup, and I'll get to that in a second, but 18-inch machine finished alloys coming with the S and SV trims. All other trim levels are going to get 20-inch alloys then, and there is a $1,730 option that we have today, being the satin black wheel setup. So I think it looks pretty darn good. I don't know, I like it. But anyways, that pretty much rounds out the side profile of this one. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the back. All right, and so but now since we are around to the back of the Murano, all the way to the top, you're going to find a body colored shark fin antenna. Just below that, there's actually a gloss black rear spoiler with an integrated brake light, of course. Do you have that rear window wiper there as well? You got the new Nissan badging, of course. Also have the Murano and trim level badging on the back. So if you wander onto a Nissan lot on maybe a Sunday, you can find the trim level badging on the real tailgate there, in case you were curious what trim level you were looking at. Of course, we have plenty of chrome accents back here because we got the Platinum trim level, of course, and just below it all, you will find dual exhaust outlets with chrome tips. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. All right, so but now since we are around to the back of the Murano, when it comes to opening that rear tailgate, it is a hands-free power tailgate for the SL and Platinum trim levels, so that is definitely convenient if you have your hands full. There's a button on the tailgate itself, of course. There's a button on the key fob, and there's actually a button by the driver's side left knee then as well. But once opened up, cargo capacity behind that second row comes in at 31.1 cubic feet. If that was not enough space, there of course is a 60-40 split, meaning the rear seats do fold down, bumping that up to an even 65 cubic feet. And there are some levers in the cargo area, by the way, to fold those rear seats down. It was extremely convenient, very easy to use, so didn't want to mention that as well. There is cargo lighting back there, of course. There's some grocery bag hooks. There's 8 cargo tie-down anchors as well. There's a 12-volt power outlet back there. There's a cargo cover back there, and then if you were to lift up underneath of that cargo floor, you are going to find a spare tire. I love when they have the spare tire as opposed to the fix-a-flat. Maybe it's because I'm used to that, but there is a little bit of storage around that spare tire, so if you wanted to put an ice scraper, that's probably where you're going to put it back there as well, if you wanted to. So then making our way up to that rear legroom, that is going to come in at 38.7 inches, so for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had back there, and there is rear ventilation for those rear passengers, of course. There is a rear center armrest with cup holders as well. There are 2 USB charging ports back there, and if you were to go with the SL or Platinum trim levels, you are actually going to get heated rear seats. Well done, Nissan there. I love that you're spoiling the passengers. There's a lot of luxury in the Murano, so I absolutely love that, but the one thing I wish that the rear seats did have was maybe rear window sunshades for the Platinum trim level. I would have added that. So Nissan, if you're watching this, there's some constructive criticism for you. But anyways, making our way then to the front seats, manually adjustable cloth seating coming with the S, 10-way power driver seat with power lumbar for the SV trim level and up. Those seats will be heated for the SV trim level and up, and there's actually a 4-way power adjustable passenger seat, same trim levels yet again. Memory settings are going to come with the SL trim, and by the way, the SL meaning leather, you're going to get leather seats there as well, and ventilated front seats coming with the Platinum. Overall seating was plenty comfortable, and I like the little diamond pattern stitching within the seats as well, so definitely not going to have any issues taking this thing on a long road trip or anything like that. But now, take a look at the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping, of course. It is leather wrapped for the SV trim level and up, and it is heated for the SL and Platinum trim levels, and the grips were plenty fine. They're definitely on the thicker side of things, which I personally appreciate there. But so then, making our way to the startup, let me start by showing you guys the key here. You do have all of your buttons and the Nissan logo all located on one side of the key. Lock, unlock, that button to pop the rear tailgate, and the circular button, that's going to be your remote start, which comes on the SV trim level and up if you wanted that. However, a keyless entry with a push button start does come standard for all trim levels. So all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button located just in front of the shifter. And so once started up, tachometer is all the way to your left, speedometer is on your right, and there's a fairly large digital display front and center. To control what is on that digital display, there actually are some steering wheel mounted controls found on the left side of the steering wheel, giving you things like a compass, the speed limit of any given road, a digital speedometer, also outside temperature, how many miles you have left until you hit empty when you need your next oil change. The list goes on. It's pretty much everything you could possibly want on the digital portion of the gauges. Having said that, would love to have seen some digital gauges up there, just like Nissan does with their new Rogue. I'm just saying. But anyways, then making our way to overall interior quality, dual pane panoramic moonroof is going to be optional on the SL, standard on our Platinum trim level that we have today. So even the rear passengers have a view of the sky. That's pretty cool. Overhead sunglass holder is going to come standard ambient LED lighting for the SL and Platinum trim levels. Auto dimming rear view mirror for the SV trim level and up. You're actually going to get home link controls on that rear view mirror for the SL and Platinum for up to 3 different garage doors there. Dual zone climate control is going to come standard on all trim levels across the board. And like I said, interior quality is dang good. So you got kind of this plastic but wood look to it found on the doors. It carries on just above the passenger side glove box, and it's also surrounding the shifter. So many other manufacturers will leave that like a gray or just a matte black around the shifter. So I love that Nissan kind of made it this wood look, and then even a silver look around the cup holders just to the right of that as well. So although it's not authentic, it looks very, very nice. So I'm a huge fan of that. You got a 12-volt power outlet just to the right of the shifter there, USB charging port, auxiliary port actually as well, and within the center armrest, definitely a decent amount of storage there, and even that wood look is separating the 2 sides of the center armrest there as well. So that is pretty darn cool. So overall, in my personal opinion, interior quality is done 100% on point. So I certainly wouldn't have any issues there. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the infotainment screen. And speaking of, let me just get it out of the way. Yes, the Murano still comes with a CD player that is just above the infotainment screen there. So that is one thing you will not find in 99% of the other vehicles out there right now. So I wanted to mention it. But 8-inch color touchscreen display comes standard for all trim levels. Bluetooth and audio streaming, of course, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay as well. Factory navigation system coming with the SL and Platinum trim levels. You can check out your weather information up there. You can check out your stock information up there. There's no crypto information yet, unfortunately, but hopefully it's coming in the future. Radio information, of course, you can check out up there as well. 6 speakers for the S, SV, and Midnight Edition trims, and then 11-speaker Bose sound system for the SL and Platinum. And so therefore, that is the sound system that we have today. So what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and turn on the radio, see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Actually, really not that bad. That was a decent amount of bass. Clarity is crystal clear as well. And really, I always say this in my reviews of any Nissan or Infiniti, they do bass wonderfully. And it's a Bose sound system. I actually had a Bose sound system in my Infiniti G35 Coupe when they first came out, and it never failed me. It did incredible, wonderful sound system there, so I absolutely love it. But last thing I want to mention to you guys on the infotainment screen is when you do put the Murano in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming standard for all trim levels. But not only that, if you were to go with the SL or Platinum, you're also going to get a surround view monitor there to the right, giving you that bird's eye view, letting you know what is completely all around you, which is always is going to lead us into safety. And so it gets even better here. Let me start with my favorite part. IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which is the very highest designation given by IIHS. So that pretty much says it all right there. Incredibly safe SUV. Front side current airbags do come standard, but driver and passenger knee airbags as well. It doesn't always come standard. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard, forward collision warning, autonomous emergency braking with pedestrian detection, intelligent lane intervention, a blind spot warning system with rear cross traffic alert, and a driver attention monitoring system as well. Then the SV trim level and up is going to add to that front and rear parking sensors, and SL and Platinum trims are going to add traffic sign recognition as well. So overall, when it comes to my final thoughts, love the steering feel in this thing. It's definitely weighted on the heavier side of things, and that's rare for an SUV, as I mentioned earlier. Excellent safety, excellent reliability according to Consumer Reports, very nice interior quality as well. But anyways, that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen if you wanted to see what's coming next on the channel before it gets to YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews. That is what we do here on this channel after all. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good